Hello, everybody. So in this video, I'm going to be discussing project assignment number 2, which is on qualitative and quantitative tables and graphs. So let me go ahead and share my screen and we'll get started. Okay, so on Blackboard, you're going to see several things for project assignment number 2. You're going to see the template that you're going to put your answers in, the sample assignment that I filled out for my data set, and then also the rubric that you can look at just to see what the expectations are, how you're graded, if you would like. And the expectation should also be pretty obvious from my sample of what I'm looking for in this video. So I'm going to go ahead and open my sample and also my previous project assignment 1 just to refer back to. Remember, you're using the same data set for all 7 project assignments. So you're going to use the same data set you used in project assignment number 1 for this assignment also. So let me go ahead and open up both of those documents. Let me go ahead and screen share now. Okay, so in this assignment, you're going to start actually analyzing your data now. So you're going to start summarizing your data and kind of analyzing it and seeing what it represents. So this is all just kind of just general objectives. And basically what you're going to do is for your qualitative variable from project assignment 1, you're going to make a frequency table, a bar graph, and a pie chart. And then for one of your 2 quantitative variables, whichever one interests you more, you're going to make a frequency table and a histogram. And then you're going to write a little paragraph about each of them. And as with the first assignment, so if you don't get everything correct the first time around, then you'll get a 50% needs revisions grade until you make the corrections. Then once you make the corrections, you should get 100%. If you still haven't fixed everything, then you would get a 70% if you met most expectations, or less than 50% would be a 50%. Those grades and how they're, I guess, distinguished are in the rubric, but with my feedback, you should be getting a 100% on the second attempt as long as you do the revisions. And you have 7 days to make those revisions once I give you my feedback. Okay, so you're going to put your name, your repository, and your dataset name. This is the same as project assignment 1. You're using the same dataset. Now, you're going to use your qualitative variable here. So let me actually go to my project assignment 1 here for a moment. So in project assignment 1, you already picked out 3 variables, right? 1 qualitative and 2 quantitative. So you're going to use the qualitative one and then either one of the quantitative one, whichever one is more interesting to you. For me, salaries were the most interesting one in this data set to analyze, so I picked that one for my quantitative, and then sex is my qualitative. So let me go ahead back to my sample here. Okay, so we're going to start with the qualitative variable here. So that was sex. So I'm going to show you on our Guru how I did all this. So you're going to make a frequency table that has both frequency and relative frequency. You're going to make a bar graph, and you're going to make a pie chart. So I'm going to go through all of that on our Guru. So let me go ahead and go to our Guru here. Give me a second to get to our Guru. All right, so let's start with the frequency table. So this is a qualitative variable. So you're going to be making just a standard frequency table. So you're going to go under analytics and analysis and tabulation and categorical. You're going to select your data set. Mine was salaries. You're going to select your qualitative variable. Mine was sex. And then you're going to check counts and proportions. Make sure you check both of those so you get both the frequencies and the relative frequencies. And then you're going to hit the eyeball. And then all you need to do is, so you can't like copy the image for this one, you're just going to have to take a screenshot of this one and put it into the document. Just make sure you format it so that it actually fits in the box in the document. But that's all you're going to be doing for this. So let's now make the bar graph. So you're going to go under plots, create plot, and bar plot. Select your data set and the variable. And then the only other thing you need to do is check to add value labels. And then that's gonna put the frequencies above the bars, just makes it easier to read and analyze. Hit the eyeball, there's your bar plot. And they should match the numbers that were in your table. It definitely will. And then if you right click and hit copy image, then you can copy the image easily into the project assignment. Just once again, please make sure when you're copying images or screenshots into the assignment that they actually fit inside the box and the assignment is still readable for me. And then the last thing is a pie graph. So pie chart here, create plot pie chart, and then select the data set. Under factor, you're going to select the variable. And the only other thing is to put values inside of the value labels. That puts the frequencies inside the pie slices, once again making it easier to read. And then also has a little legend to the side with the relative frequencies. So you can see here it's 39 and 358, the same as my other graphs. And for this, you can also right click and copy the image to put it into your project assignment. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and back to the Word document now. So as you can see, I put them all in the boxes here and I did format them smallly enough so that they fit in the boxes. Just please make sure you do that to make it readable for me. And then there's just a little paragraph down here where you're just going to describe what you're seeing, what you notice, what you wonder. So in mine, so I can clearly see in mine that I have a lot more males than females, which is kind of interesting. So based on my frequency table, my graphs, it is clear that the vast majority of professors are male. In comparison to males, I'm seeing very few females. So I'm wondering why there's such a large difference. So my best guess is that maybe the data the school was collected from predominantly attracts males for some reason. We don't know the name of the school, so we don't really know why. But I'm just kind of saying what I see and kind of questioning it and wondering, why this might be. So that's all you have to do for this. So literally just describe what you see and anything you wonder. So then let's now talk about the quantitative variable now. So I chose salary, like I said. So I'm going to go back to our Goober. I'm going to make a frequency table with both frequencies and relative frequencies. And then I'm also making a histogram. So I'm going to show you guys how to do this in our Guru. And if you want to save these, you can name them and save them. It might be useful to do that for the project assignment, or once you put them in, you have the pictures, it's up to you. And it's easy to always recreate them too. They're not super hard to make, but if you want to save them, you can do that. Let me go ahead and close this stuff out here. All right, now for the numerical data, you're going to make a grouped frequency table. So for your quantitative variable, so you're going to go under analysis, tabulation, and numerical. You're going to select the data set, and you're going to select your variable. Mine was salary. And then just check counts and proportions and hit the eyeball. So here it gives me my ranges of values here. So remember, this means 50,000 to 60,000 with 50,000 included and 60,000 not included. So it's basically 50,000 to 500 or 59,999.99 basically. The closest number to 60,000 that isn't 60,000. And same thing here, this is 60,000 up to 69,999.99. And the only reason for that is just so your classes don't overlap. So when you're interpreting that, the bracket means it's included, parenthesis means the number is not included. It just goes up as close to that number as it can. You can ignore the lower, mid, and upper. Then you have your frequencies, and you have your relative frequencies as decimals and percentages. So this is something you're going to have to take a screenshot of. If your table's a little longer like mine, you may have to take multiple screenshots. Just please make sure, once again, that they fit inside the box on that you formatted so that they fit inside the box on the assignment to make it readable for me. And let's go ahead now and make the histogram. So plots, create plot, histogram. Select my data set and my variable. And then you can either do frequency or relative frequency. I'm just going to keep it at frequency. And then check counts and percent. So you get your frequencies and relative frequencies above the bars. Once again, just makes it a little easier to read. And then hit the eyeball. And there's your histogram. So this basically is giving you, so the classes here like 50,000 to 60,000, 60 to 70, 70 to 80, etc. So pretty similar to what we have over here. Now, the histogram does categorize the classes like a little differently than the table does. It tends to include the right number instead of the left number for whatever reason. So if your numbers are a little bit different, that's okay. You get the general gist. But the classes should be pretty similar, hopefully, between your histogram and your frequency table. So if your histogram has a lot of bars and you're not sure, or you're having a hard time reading the bars or whatever, you do have the frequency table to kind of back it up, to kind of see what the frequency should be. And then with this, you can right click and copy the image and put it into your project document. And once again, format it so it fits in the box. All right, so that is how to do all that on our Guru. So let me go back now to the project assignment. Okay, so you can see I put the screenshots in here, formatted them so they fit in the box. And then once again, we're going to have a brief little summary of what we saw here. So kind of describe, where most of your data is, what you're seeing your most common classes, where is most of your data falling, and talk about whether you think that may or may not be accurate. What does that make you wonder? So based on my histogram and frequency table, I can see that my data set is mostly in the range of about 70,000 to 170,000. So this is 70,000 right here, 170 right here. So that's where like the vast majority of my data is. And my most common range of data values, my highest bar, is from 100,000 to 110,000. So I wonder if that's actually an accurate estimate for the average salary of a college professor. Is that actually what the salary is on average? So, and I don't know what school this is, so I wonder if there is a difference due to the type of school the data was collected from. I don't know where it was collected from, so I don't really know, but that is what this is making me wonder. Let's talk about what you see and then what you wonder. And that's pretty much it. So that is project assignment 2, which is qualitative and quantitative tables and graphs. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out.